go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs. And they worked long, they worked hard, and frankly, they worked very quickly on something that will be spoken about 100 years from now and 200 years from now. Extremely important.
Welcome back. It's the top of the hour. Former President Trump calling it a big victory as he once again seeks the Republican nomination. The U.S. Supreme Court says Mr. Trump can stay on the primary ballot in Colorado. That unanimous decision reverses the decision by Colorado's Supreme Court that kicked Mr. Trump off the ballot. The justices ruled that states cannot disqualify Trump under the 14th Amendment, which prevents former office holders who engaged in insurrection from holding office again. NewsNation's Kelly Meyer is live outside the Supreme Court. Kelly, I know you just listened to this like I did, listening to every detail. All of this coming on the heels of Super Tuesday, on the cusp of Super Tuesday. Kelly, so much red meat there in what Mr. Trump had to say. But off the top, he thanked the Supreme Court, saying that he respected their decision, calling it a unification.
Yeah, and you hit on it right there, Nick. That was one of my first notes, is that this really was striking a tone of unifying the country. It sounded like as he started his comments there, saying that this decision would do just that, as he was celebrating this decision by the Supreme Court, quickly setting up this press conference at Mar-a-Lago, similar to the move he made when we were hearing the oral arguments here a little over 3 weeks ago. He also had a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, really hopeful about how the justices might rule in this. And today, of course, learning that they are reversing the Colorado decision and siding with Trump on this, basically saying essentially that it shouldn't be up to the state to decide whether a candidate is ineligible for the presidency, saying, quote, responsibility for enforcing Section 3 against federal office holders and candidates rests with Congress and not with the states. We were here a little over 3 weeks ago as the justices were hearing this, and it seemed as though they were skeptical of the Colorado Supreme Court decision and seemed likely to side with former President Donald Trump. Then, moments after this decision this morning, Trump did take to Truth Social, saying, quote, big win for America, which is what we heard in his remarks, similar to what we heard just moments ago. As we said, Trump was hopeful that the justices would rule this way, that he said the efforts to keep him off the ballot threatened to disenfranchise tens of millions of Americans. Here's a little bit more of what Trump had to say just moments ago.
On the totem pole, you cannot take somebody out of a race. The voters can take the person out of the race very quickly, but a court shouldn't be doing that, and the Supreme Court saw that very well, and I really do believe that will be a unifying factor.
It was interesting, though, Nick. I feel as though he spent more time talking about this potential next case about him ahead of the Supreme Court on his immunity, whether Trump can be criminally prosecuted for his efforts to overturn the 2020 re-election loss. He said, quote, I'm being prosecuted by Biden, my opponent, and he claims it's total coordination with the White House. So he spent a lot of time in those remarks from Mar-a-Lago really focusing on that, maybe more so even than what just happened here in front of the Supreme Court today. Nick.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.